Understanding how three baselines are created is one of the most critical tasks in PMP, and it is considered as one of the most daunting tasks. So, I have tried to cover the complete three baseline journey on one page. So, I would like to share that journey in this video for you. So, if you want to clear PMP, this video is for you. In this one page document, I tried to cover all the details, all the tools and technique, and the flow in which you can master the three baselines. So let's have a view of this and see how we can understand it. And do give me your feedback. What do you think? How this can be improved? Okay. So the first baseline is scope baseline. We know that we have to make three baselines: scope, schedule, and cost. These are the major baselines along with the resource management and risk. So in order to create baselines, you need to have project charter. Project charter have high level requirement. Then you need to have made the project management plan. I'm going from the basic. Step one, project charter must be there. Step two, project management plan must be there. It use interpersonal skills, facilitation, conflict management, meeting management along the way, data gathering like brainstorming, interviews, focus group, meetings. Both of these use the same tools and technique. And once the project management plan created, project charter is created, project scope management plan is created with the help of this. So basically, in plan scope management, that is a process. Once the project management plan is created, it goes as an input to plan scope management plan. So in plan scope management plan, it has a special importance in all the planning process. Two plans are being created here. One plan is scope management plan. The second plan is requirement management plan. So we will be using requirement management plan initially. So with the help of requirement management plan, we collect all the requirements and we get two major outputs. Requirement traceability matrix, a matrix showing requirement from start till end. A matrix showing what is the reasons of these requirements. A matrix showing that these requirements must be satisfied. These requirements are linked to the objectives. Now these are all the requirements. These are all the requirements, all the product requirement. And we have requirement documentations, all the documentations, what are stakeholder requirement, what are functional, non-functional, along the way, detail of all the requirements there. So very important documents are being created here. Now this process has a lot of tools and technique. Focus group, we know already the focus people came there, then brainstorming, idea generation, affinity diagram, classifying the ideas there, decision making like voting and multi criteria. Then we have interviews, one on one prototype, maybe making something and showing it to the customer to decide that this fulfill the requirement or not. Basically, in the we are using all these techniques to get the requirements. Then we have mind mapping. We also have observation, context diagram showing all the relationship, then, of course, multi-criterion voting and nominal group technique. Nominal group technique is a combination of four technique: focus group, brainstorming, then affinity diagram and voting. So once we are done with the requirement documentation, we move towards basically seeing, okay, we have all these requirement. What is in my scope? What is out of my scope? Go out. You are not in my scope. Okay, you may be important, but we will see you later. So what is in the scope? What is out of the scope is done in the project scope statement. Process is basically defined scope. Project scope statement is a detailed requirement. Very important thing. Project charter is a high level requirement. Project scope statement is a detailed requirement of what is acceptable criteria, what is in the scope, what is out of the scope, what are the assumptions, what are the constraints, what is acceptance criteria. Major tool and technique that I would recommend that you master here is product evaluation. Then we move towards creating the work breakdown structure. Here, our baseline is created. Now, scope baseline is created here. Scope baseline is a combination of project scope statement, work breakdown structure, and work breakdown structure dictionary, the approved format of this. So here tools and techniques are very simple, decomposition and expert judgment. And that's it. You have your one baseline in less than 2 minutes. So let's go towards the next baseline. I think it's less than 2 minutes. I'm not counting the time. Okay. Then okay, if I can may erase this. Then we move towards the schedule baseline. Now, scope baseline is created. The lowest part of work breakdown structure is called work package. Remember that. We are going to use that in schedule. Now, for schedule, we have plan schedule management process. Schedule management plan is created. Now, the next process we define the activities. Remember, I told you, remember the work package? Here, the work package will be divided further. Again, we will use decomposition, expert judgment, and rolling wave planning. Rolling wave planning is basically you plan in detail what you know clearly, and you plan high level what you don't know. Basically, you put it in roll and paste aside. So that is why it is called as rolling wave planning. So decomposition, expert judgment, rolling wave, and we get activity list and explaining the relationship of activities, activity attributes, and very important, milestone list. Milestone have all the basically start date, end date, major milestones that you need to achieve along the way. Then we sequence these activity in sequence activity, and we get project schedule network diagram. We are using leads and lag. Are two activities leading or lagging? We need to know what are the relationship finish to start, start to start, start to finish, or finish to finish. What are the dependencies? Mandatory dependency, discretionary dependencies, internal dependencies, external dependencies, and we need to know how to communicate it along the way. Of course, don't forget about precedence diagramming method. Precedence diagramming method, connecting activities along the way. Once that is done, you have a project schedule network diagram in your hand. You move toward estimate activity duration. Here you estimate the durations. Very important process. Why? Tools and technique that will be used here will be used again in estimate cost. So we have estimation technique like analogous estimation. What is analogous estimation? If it took me, let's say, 1 hour to make a burger, how much time it will take me again if I want to make a same burger? Same time almost. Okay, so approximately same time. I know most of you will say less time, but let's say just for simplicity, we say that same time. Remember one thing more. Analogous came from analogy. Analogy. You are you are basically comparing two things. You are basically comparing two things. So analogous came from analogy. You are comparing two things that say they are same. For example, we have compared project manager with orchestra conductor, so it's the same analogy. So you have analogous estimation. Then if I want to make two burger, how much time it will take? I will approximately double it. So that's parametric. If I want to make four burgers, I will multiply it by four. So that is parametric estimation. You are using parameters to multiply along the way. Then we have 3 point estimation using optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic. Optimistic is also called as best case scenario, pessimistic, worst case scenario, and most likely is the normal scenario. So we have triangular distribution, optimistic, pessimistic, most likely divided by 3, and 3 point, and we have beta distribution, optimistic plus 4 most likely plus pessimistic divided by 6. Then we have bottom up estimating, how much time it will take to make a burger. Okay, how much time it will take to cut the salad, how much time it will take to fry the kebab, how much time it will take to do this. We add all the things from the bottom and we move towards the upward. That is bottom up analysis. So we have this all estimation techniques. Then we have reserves analysis, contingency reserves, management reserve. Contingency reserves are used for known unknown. Management reserves are used for unknown. Contingency reserves becomes the part of baseline. Management reserve never becomes a part of baseline. And we also have alternate analysis. Do this way or do that way. What to do? Once we have estimation, base duration estimate, and basis of estimate, we move toward developing the schedule. And we get here schedule baseline. We are getting here schedule baseline, schedule data, project schedule, and project calendar. Four major output. The most important is schedule baseline, then project schedule, schedule data, and project calendar. We are using schedule compression here, fast tracking, making activities parallel, which were before series, and as a result, risk is increased. Adding resource, that is crashing. As a result, cost is increased. These are two type of schedule compression. Then we have resource optimization, resource leveling, level the resource. When you level the resource, when you basically manage all the resource, your schedule is increased. Resource smoothing. You don't let your schedule increase, but you move fast track crash along the way. Then you do schedule network analysis. You check critical path, which path to follow, what to do, what not to do. Then we have what ifs analysis. What if analysis used for determine what is the worst case for the anything. Then we have Monte Carlo giving us probability distribution along the way. We have agile release and leads and lag. We already discussed this. So now we have second baseline with us. So now move towards the third baseline. The third baseline is cost baseline. This baseline is created pretty simple as compared to schedule. You only if you master it so far, you can easily master the third baseline. You are making cost management plan, giving us all the tolerances and how to plan. Then in estimate cost, similarly like previous estimate duration, you get cost estimate, basis of estimate, same tools and technique, plus cost of quality is there. Then determine budget. In determine budget, you are basically using bottom up estimation, which is being called here as cost aggregation to make cost baseline and project funding requirement. Along the way, you are also reviewing the historical information to use the analogous or parametric estimation. You're also comparing when to release the fund in funding limit reconciliation and checking how to get the finance along the way. Remember one thing, in cost baseline, contingency reserves are included. Management reserves are not included. So cost baseline is estimation of all the activity plus contingency reserve, not management reserve. Once you add the management reserve, it becomes the project budget. So this is all about how three baselines are created. I hope this video proved to be useful for you in clearing your PMP exam. Thank you very much for watching.